Hi, you guys. I look like a mess and I'm also exhausted and I've also been very lazy with this video, but I'm gonna get into it straight away because I can't be bothered. Also, it was either this or me looking like a rat coming out of the sewers because I was about to shower. So we're about to do the books that I've read so far of 2023. This is literally all of my January, and there are 2 books here that I couldn't be bothered to go get. I do have them and I did read them, but I couldn't be bothered to go get them. Okay, first book is Patti Smith, A Book of Days. I loved this book. It was so cute. Patti Smith is my favorite author. Her book Just Kids is just, it changed my life. And this is a very quick, easy to read book of basically just pictures per every single day of the year and little captions. So that was literally read in a singular night. As we can guess, it's a picture book, but it still counts. So book 1, I would give it 4 out of 5 because like it was so cute and like, you know. Second book, I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy. This book was amazing. It was amazing. I hate, and I say this all the time, I hate to get books, to read shows, or to watch movies when they're really hyped, because I feel like I go into it very disappointed, which isn't like the fault of the movie or the piece of art or whatever it is, but I still picked this up. And I'm so glad I did. This is honestly one of the best written books ever. It's so, she wrote this beautifully, and as someone with OCD, I just really related to how she wrote about OCD. And I think the cover is beautiful, the pacing is perfect. It's so in-depth and raw and real, and I don't think you get that nowadays really a lot with like a lot of like memoirs. I think a lot of memoirs, like people will talk about what they've done, but I think Jeanette is like, I am flawed, I am a flawed human, this is why, but also it doesn't excuse my behavior, I am a flawed human, you know. And I just really loved that transparency, to be honest. So 5 out of 5, it was brilliant. Then another 5 out of 5 book, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This was beautiful. I loved it. It was stunning. My friend recommended this to me because I love fantasy, but I also love coffee. It's my one addiction. It's actually the only thing getting me through today. Anyway, yeah, I immediately had to pick this up when she told me what it was about, and I was like, oh, and I got it. And it was so cute. I feel like the best way to go into a book is having zero idea what it's about, because I had zero idea how this would go. I just knew the themes and it went perfect. It was perfect. I loved it. It's don't expect too much from this. It's quite literally about a monster mythical creature character who goes and decides to stop her like bad life where she's like a criminal and all this stuff, or like an assassin, and then she just wants to open a coffee shop because she's discovered what coffee is and she has fallen in love with it. It is so cute. It is also an LGBT romance and I love it. I love it. It was just so perfect. Pick it up. Then I read My Body by Emily Ratajkowski. It was okay. The more I think on it, it's like a 3.8 max probably. Again, beautiful cover. It wasn't written the best compared to Jeanette McCurdy's, who's like, she's very clearly a writer. It wasn't written the best. It was very sad, and I think it's gonna be, if you haven't read this yet, it's gonna be a lot sadder than you expect it to be. It's quite like eye-opening in that way. I definitely feel like I gained a bit more respect for her reading this, not because of what she's been through, but because she was so, you know, brave about coming out about all of it. I love that it almost is like a fuck you to a lot of people, because that's just something I would definitely do. But I think in general, it like, if you see it from a book point of view, it's just not the best written book ever, you know. So yeah, 3.8, nearing a 4 out of 5 maybe. Then I read the 2 books which aren't here, Graffiti Brazil by Tristan Manco, yeah, and then Helen Levitt by Helen Levitt. Both very similar books. One is about graffiti in Brazil and the other one is about Helen Levitt, who is a photographer, or was a photographer. She's my mum's favorite photographer, so we've had this book lying around for years and I only just picked it up. I don't know why. Both very easy to read, both quite fun, both with great detail. I would give Helen Levitt a 4 out of 5 and I would give the Graffiti Brazil a 5 out of 5, just because it had a lot of like information. It had quite a bit of humour to it as well, which was really like refreshing for like a artistic photography book. But both just general good books to kind of pick up and read, especially if you're having like a blockage with like reading. I think it's great to pick up a book that's really easy to read and quite fun to read, that genuinely will like put you back in the rhythm, which is what these books did. So those are the two books that I also read. And then finally, this fucking book, The Secret History by John Depop. First of all, it took me like 2 weeks to read. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but oh my god, it took me so long to read. Partially that was because I'm a busy gal and I went out loads of nights and couldn't read. I had to go to sleep straight away. And I only read before I sleep. I have OCD, don't ask. But I do feel like it's partially because of the actual book that I didn't read it like, oh my god, I'm turning the page, I'm flipping the page. Like, I didn't feel that way with this book until the end. I think what saved this book from being a mediocre book was two things. One, it was written very well. Two, the ending. The ending was so worth putting in. Like, I think if it went any differently, I would have a mixed opinion on this book and why it's so hyped. I think the ending, including the epilogue, was very powerful, and I kind of wish that it had that intensity throughout, but it didn't. Like, if you don't know, it's basically, The Secret History is basically about a murder amongst a group of, well, like young adults basically, and you know who killed who from the beginning, you know how they did it, it's hinted at the beginning, and then you find out like not even midway, like before midway probably. It's just, I love a good mystery and I love a good murder book. I love things like that. My favourite show is Murder, She Wrote. You know, I'm here for the cheese. I'm here for it, you know, bring it on. But I just feel like there were so many bits, so many paragraphs, which were like, it was like a singular paragraph. And I was like, was that relevant? Like, it would just be about the trees or the snow. And it's like, I get this person is trying to be like a great writer, because I feel like this is very on theme for like old writers, but it's like, no, it's not doing it for my brain. My brain was like, I don't need to know that, just get on with what's going on, get on with the story. And also, I wasn't really able to form an attachment to any of the characters. I think there have been books where I'm like, oh my god, I just hate this fucking character, which is not how I feel about this book. This book, I'm like, oh my gosh, I do like the characters. I want to be attached to these characters. I have a small attachment to some, but I want to read a book and be like, oh my god, I love this character. I want to die for them. Ironically, which is what I had with Legends and Lattes. Like, I just wanted to die for the main characters so bad. I really did. It was so fun. This brought out my inner child. Okay, listen, it was so good. I just think this is the pinnacle moment of like why I don't read books when they're really hyped. I bought this on a whim, posted it to my Instagram, and everyone was like, oh my god, it was amazing. It was literally not a singular person said they didn't like it. Not one person. I was like, oh my god, okay, well, goddamn, I'm gonna like this, you know, because everyone likes this. And then also, like, one person did say it took a little while for them to sink their teeth into it, which is how I felt about it, definitely. But I get why it's a good book, but when it's hyped or overhyped, I'm like, is it really that good? I think it's one of those books where I'll walk away from it and like, I'll be like, yeah, it was really good. I think it was just written so well. I think the plot is nothing new, whereas like this has never been done before, you know what I mean? But because it's written so well, it's fine. Like, it's saved the plot in a way. I feel like I'm gonna repeat myself and go in circles. I really liked it. I would still give it a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's the most amazing book ever, but I do think it's very well written and a good book, like overall a good book. So there we go. There is your first my reading videos of the year. I'm currently reading Charm by Tracy Wolff. This series, man, this series. Listen, if you read Tracy Wolff's series and you were like, you like that and not The Secret History, listen, it's amazing, okay? I'm just very attached to the characters. Listen, if I get attached to your characters, it doesn't matter if the book is awful or brilliant. I'm gonna love it because I'm attached to the characters, which I am with Charm. The whole series. And the next book on my reading list is Final Offer by Lauren Asher. The day it came out, I bought it. I've never been like this with books. Like, I could wait years until after a book comes out, really. I really could. But the day Final Offer came out, I bought it. The literal day I had to. Lauren Asher, I love you. God damn, woman, your fucking series is so brilliant. If there's a book I have been looking forward to for the past like few months, if not more, it has been Final Offer. It has been Final Offer. In fact, almost a year, because I picked up Terms and Conditions, no, the fine print, a long time ago. And that book, beautiful, beautiful. Best romance series ever. Literally ever. Tops everything. So I'm so excited to do another video of these, because it's going to have, I know, a bunch of my favourite books in there. Books that I could literally speak about for the rest of my life. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know I literally look like a mess and I sound like a mess and I am a bit of a mess, and this is all a bit of a mess. However, I appreciate you making the time to watch this, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you read any of these, let me know what you think, because I know everyone and their mother has read The Secret History, so you know what I mean. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.